Good morning. This is my coronavirus update today on March 23rd, 2020 from Coronavirus Central. So I'm just presenting countries right now. I'm not going to present US states because I want to start looking at US cities because there's a diversification of cases within states. So it's becoming less and less relevant to look at state data. And in a sense, it's also the same with country data because some of these countries are relatively large, like the United States. So it's really, we have to look at where all the cases are clustering. But this is what I have for right now. At this moment, in terms of prevalence per 100,000, Luxembourg is in the lead here. And again, this is an area where there isn't a lot of population density. In fact, I actually have those data available here in terms of density. So Luxembourg population densities, population per kilometer square. Where is it? Let's see. Luxembourg is 250. So it's quite a dense area. It's much more dense than the United States because, again, we have a larger country. So a greater square kilometer area. So you can look at these population densities here. And let's go back to the table I was looking at. So the case fatality in Luxembourg is about 1% right now. In Switzerland, it's 1.3%. The highest case fatalities are in Italy, which is 9.3%. So case fatality is the percentage of individuals who die among those who have contracted and confirmed to have the coronavirus disease. Now, this is probably the best measure we have because once somebody dies, death certificates have to be completed. Of course, this depends on how good a country is at keeping its records and sharing those records. So in Spain, it's 6.1%, and in the United States, it's 1.3%. So we'd say the probability of dying in the US is about 1.3%. Right now, if you have the coronavirus. So those are the data I have here. It's really notable that China has had a decline from yesterday. I heard a radio host saying that, oh, there's good news because there's either a slowdown in deaths or a slowdown in cases in different countries in Europe, so we should be happy. I don't see this. I'm still seeing these increases unless you're talking about the rate of change, but the rate of change seems to be steady in most cases. So let's look at speaking of rate of change, if we look at the United States, we're still on an increase overall in the US in terms of cases per 100,000. So that hasn't really declined, and we're catching up to South Korea. And again, if you recall, South Korea and the US had the first case on the same date, and now the population densities are very different. So here's South Korea. Where's Korea? Here it is. It's 530, and again, the US is only 36, so that might account for it. Here's another interesting piece of data that I was looking at, is the percentage of individuals in a country that are above 65 years old. And I was trying to see if there's a relation between that and case fatality. I just need to enter more data in here, and this is very time consuming for me, and I've got a million things to do, but I'm working on it. So 23% of the population is above 65 in Italy. That's where we've had 9.25% of the deaths. Let's see, another country that has a high proportion of individuals over 65 is France. So their case fatality rate is 4.16. It's really hard to say just by looking at those whether that's going to be important or not, but it's something that I will look into. I have to be able to spend more time on this, and again, this is very time consuming for me, and although enjoyable, I just don't have as much time to get everything done that I want to do, but I will be working on it. I'll be presenting more videos shortly. I was out at the grocery store today. People are being very cautious. I see older people in particular wearing masks, wearing gloves. You should be shopping with gloves. You don't necessarily need a mask unless you're sick and you don't want to transmit your germs to anybody else. This is your daily update from Coronavirus Central. Thank you.